Anyways, Eddie and I were just talking about runner's high. Have you ever experienced that runner's high?
Yep, all the time, man.
Really? Do you go running a lot?
I do, yeah. I try to go like every other day or so. I used to go every day. My health's a little weird right now, so I don't. I maybe go like maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
do as much as I
I've
used
only
to, but yeah.
experienced it one time in my life, dude. And I was telling you, it was at the brink of giving up. I was like, I can't fucking do this right now. And then all of a sudden,
Yeah,
it just like,
there's another gear. Yeah,
yeah, it just energizes you, and I was like, I guess I can keep running.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a long fucking time ago, man. Back when I was in high school playing soccer and being active and shit. All right, let me get my little notepad here.
I need to get into running, man. That'd be a little easier on the fucking hands, bro. I play guitar and I go fucking box and shit and hit pads, and I'm like, why am I doing this to my fucking like hands of all things? You know what I'm saying? Fucking am I doing,
Like,
Yeah,
man?
dude. Yeah, dude. Sometimes my hand would just wake up, fucking
Yeah,
pulsating, dude.
crazy.
I'm like, I'm playing because so my day job, I'm a therapist, physical
Oh,
therapist.
cool.
So I'm working with patients, and I use my hands all fucking
Mm,
day, and then I come home and I play
yeah,
guitar. And so when I wake up in the morning, my hands are like pulsating, man. It just hurts so fucking
fuck.
bad. But anyways, um, again, thank you guys for doing this. I really appreciate it. Man, it seems like you guys have been around forever now to where you guys have really established a name locally here in Corpus, but not only in Corpus, but I'd say South Texas. And you guys are breaking out. And I feel like shit as long as my band Rez has been around, I could remember you guys and Switchblade Jesus kind of like around. You guys came right after. I feel like right after that wave of like Shattered
Hmm.
Sun, Switchblade Jesus, Rez.
yeah,
Like you guys was like right after that, and it's really fucking cool to see you guys still stick together. And for the most part, I know you guys are the original two members, but Adan has been with you guys for a
Hmm.
little bit, and then your bass is even
Yes,
longer,
sir.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's super fucking hard to have people sticking around in bands, and you guys know people flake all the fucking
For real.
time. People don't show up to practice. People slack off, and holds you back
Yeah.
in a way.
You know what just blew my
Um,
mind, bro? You mentioning that you were in Rez. Like Rez was the
yeah.
first band. Like at that time, you guys were a strong local, very strong. And it was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, when we were
Mm-hmm.
trying to get into House of Rock, we played so many fucking open mics until one day,
Yep.
Matt, the Rev, right? Shout out Matt, dude. He was finally like, hey, I want to put you guys
Yeah.
on the show. You guys,
Matt
yeah, gonna
Marion.
open up for a strong local. It's a band called Rez, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So we played with you guys before, but I didn't know you were in Rez. That was so long ago.
Yes.
So you play guitar,
Yes, you have.
obviously.
I think it might have. Yeah.
Dude,
Yes.
that's
Yes, I
cool.
do.
That's sick.
Uh, yeah. Yeah. You guys have played, and that's how I
Mhm.
remember you guys because I remember you guys in the kind of I want to say very beginning, but as you guys were, you guys got your legs
Uh-huh.
under you and you
Yeah.
started running. And that's when I remember you guys. So for people that don't know you and they're discovering you, it's like, oh, you guys are in a band. Oh, that's cool. What song should I listen to? What song are you gonna send them? The best encapsulates Zombie
I
King.
would I would send them a song called Exposed that we did during the COVID era, quarantine. Um, I feel like it just vibes. It has a hard vibe. Um, I don't know if it's our most catchy or our most heavy or whatever, you know what I mean? But I feel like it's a good representation of who we are even right now. Because even then, that was already several years ago. So we've developed and we've grown since then. But I think it still holds up, man. I think you get a good idea of who we are and even like who we like as far as like our influences and shit. Like I think it's a good read,
Mm-hmm.
as far as who we are, what we sound like.
So that was what maybe 5 to 7 years into y'all as a band.
Oh, something like that, man. I mean, we spent a lot of time in the garage, like just jamming and developing.
Yeah.
I'd say, I guess when it comes to the grind, right? Like really taking our art seriously and really doing the dang thing, I'd say we're about like 5 years in, if even. But we've been jamming for a lot longer than that, though. you got to take
Yeah.
COVID into consideration. We everybody lost at least 2 years during the pandemic, and not
Oh
even
yeah.
just in the music
Yeah,
industry,
for sure.
like just in general. You know what I mean? Let alone the music industry. It was, yeah, it was on pause for about 2 years, man. So we lost 2 years there, but we stayed in the garage. You know, we stayed in the jam room and shit. So that's what I would say
Right, right.
when it comes to us being a band and doing band shit. Like we got a good maybe like 4 to 5 years. Um, but we've been jamming together for much longer than that. You know.
Yeah. So do you think you guys it took y'all that long to kind of come up with that original defining zombie king sound, or did it have glimpses of that in the very beginning and just kind of matured from that?
Yeah, bro. I think we've always had. I think what makes us, I guess, unique. I mean, we all like to think we're a little bit unique, right? But I think what makes us unique, in at least where we're from, are like our influences. We all have a lot of the same influences, and some different, which is it's also a good thing. But the influences that we do have in common, I feel like that's what's shaped us early on, super early on. So even when we were like barely starting to dabble in songwriting, we knew what we liked. You know, we knew what we liked. We knew what has resonated in us, and whatever came out of us naturally. You know what I mean? So we've always kind of had the thing, I guess, that makes us unique to us, but we've definitely grown and developed over the years, and we've just refined it since then, for sure.
That's cool. So what was like that first jam session like? I know you guys have a different group now than what y'all
Yeah.
first started with, but that very first time with you two guys and the first original band members, and I guess we can kind of skip forward and talk about how it was when I done joined the band. But what was that very first jam session like? The birth of Zombie King. What was that like
So
when y'all got in the room together and started to
yeah, it's kind
jam?
of a funny story. We've talked about it. So Juan found we put an ad out on Craigslist, bro. This is fucking the era of Craigslist. Yeah, we put an ad out on Craigslist. It's hard, bro. It's so hard to find fucking drummers and good singers. It's just those are the. It's like, oh my god. So we were so desperate. Even back then, we're like, who the fuck can sing, right? Because we're into like we like the heavier stuff, of course. But to find someone who can do the heavy stuff, but also like hold a tune, that can sing in key and sing well, it's so hard to find down
Yeah.
here, bro. So we put an ad out. Juan answered the ad, and he came over. We scheduled a jam session. He came over to Robstown and shit. And he recognized me. He was like, "Bro, we've met before. Like we ran into each other in college a long time ago. Like this fool had a
Mm.
guitar, right? He was playing guitar, and I think it was like the Harbin Center or something. Shout out Delmar, right? And
Delmar
yeah, shout out
College,
Delmar.
yeah.
So he was playing guitar, and I just walked up to him like, "Hey man, can I check out your guitar?" And he was like, "Yeah." Started jamming on it, whatever. And I was like, "All right, I gotta go to class. Like, I gotta meet you later." That was it, bro.
It's funny how those
Dude,
things
yeah.
happen,
So,
right? Because like
mhm.
with Reds was kind of the same way. Yeah,
Yeah, man. What were you gonna say about Rez?
yeah,
You were gonna
yeah.
say something about you guys?
No, it's funny because with Rez, like we would run into each other at open
Oh, okay.
mics, but we never talked to each other before. We would just like, we all sign up. We're all just kind of sitting there. And people go up, you clap. They come down, we
Yeah,
go
yeah.
up. They clap, we go down, and that was it. And that's the end. And then fast forward several months later, I'm showing up to these dudes' house. I'm like, hey, I know
That's
you
dude, that's
guys.
crazy. Yeah. So that's how that happened.
Yeah, small town, I guess, right?
So
Small
we
circle.
met, right? He came to the jam. He was like, "Dude, like you played my guitar like several years ago in college." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I didn't recognize the guy. The guy had like a full on transformation from the first time we met until that moment, right? I think that's safe to say. I was like, "What the fuck? We fucking all right, cool." We jam or whatever. The first couple jams, man. So we were the first band Juan ever like. This is the first band I've jammed with buddies and shit growing up, but Zombie King's like our first and only band, really. Um,
Mm.
so Juan came in, and I guess he was. I think it's safe to say we were just kind of getting a vibe for everything. We were soaking everything in, Juan, and kind of like going over shit in our head. So the dude wasn't really singing. So I'm just like, but he sent in an audition tape, right? He sent in a clip of him singing "Nutshell," Alice in Chains. He sang it well, so I was like, all right, this dude can sing, right? Like, come jam with us. But when he came to jam with us, motherfucker wasn't singing. He wasn't singing a note. So I'm like, dude, what's going on here? So like 2 or 3 like meetings in, I hit the guy up before like we're supposed to meet again. I'm like, hey, bro, like you're a cool dude. Like, I'd hang out with you just to shoot the shit or whatever. But like, when it comes to the band stuff, like, if you're not gonna sing tonight, like, just don't show up, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But he showed up and he fucking sang finally, and it sounded good. And we're like, okay, we can work with this, man. We can write songs and shit. And that's so that was pretty much like, your question was like, how was the first jam? Well, the first jam was really just the band and I just jamming, just through like rough originals, I guess, just riffs that we had or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
And Juan kind of just soaking it in. And so like it took a few sessions for him to actually, I guess, find his place or find his voice. And then
So then the drummer left and you guys got Adon. Like, did you guys know right away, like, with Adon, it's like, oh, yeah, this is...
yeah, when we went through...
or did it take a couple?
It took a few guys. Yeah, we went through several drummers because, I mean, drummers, am I right? You know what I mean? We all know drummers, right? No,
Yeah.
but...
I had a guy that show up and he he said, yeah, I can play this song, and then he shows up and can't even fucking keep
Can't,
up.
right? Dude, oh my God, it's... What are you doing, right? I hate that. We've been through... Oh my God.
Like, he might have been playing for maybe 6 months.
Ah,
And he
yes.
showed up to audition. Yeah.
Yeah, we went through a few different drummers, and I mean, as you know, being in a band, it's like, dude, it's so important for everybody to be on the same page, because more often than not, like, the majority aren't, and it's also hard when like you are you've been grinding from the beginning, so when you're bringing new people in. And you're bringing people in, and we're already playing cool shows, and we've done the work to get to a point locally where like we're doing some cool shit, you know. I feel like dudes would take that for granted because they weren't around during the fucking grind when we were doing the fucking open mics, and nobody wanted to fucking put us on their shows, and we're just the new guys, you know. So that's a lot of it was bringing in newer people because of necessity, who weren't there from the beginning, who took it for granted. And maybe got a little arrogant, got big-headed, and just, it just didn't work out for whatever reason. But we've always been cool with Adon, you know, and Adon's, he's like a hometown hero in his own right, you know. Really good drummer.
He's put in the
Yeah,
work.
he's solid. He plays in fucking 14 bands and shit, but that's okay. That's okay. We still love him, you know. But we actually had hit him up to help us when we were between drummers, and he came to kind of like, it wasn't even like, hey, join the band. It was like, hey, can you just come help us for a show type shit? And he came and we jammed, and we were like, dude, like, we jammed so well together, like, why not just fucking, let's just keep doing this, you know? And personally, like, because the songs all start with I guess the riff, right? At least for us, almost always it starts with like some guitar arrangement. That was gonna be my next question. So Adon and I, we play off of each other very well. You know what I mean? Like, we have really great jam chemistry. Before, I used to always have to instruct the other guys. I used to kind of like practically have to write the fucking drum parts and arrange it.
Yeah, play like this.
Yeah, exactly. And then with Adon, it's like I can play him an idea and give him a vague fucking direction, and he'll fucking knock it out, bro. And he'll add on to it, and we'll feed off of each other, and so it's been great jamming with him for sure. And I've told him this, bro. Like, you're the only drummer I've had to like not write your fucking parts for, like, So, yeah, it helps. Less work. It just helps the workflow,
Yeah. So yeah, that was actually gonna be my very next question, because like, listening to your songs, I get like this very riff-driven songs. So when it comes to that in guitar playing, are you just like a straight-up plug-in-and-go guy, or you're like a techie guy? Like, do you have all these fucking fancy pedals?
No, man, I just plug in and go. I'm very, yeah, I'm not, how do I say this without offending people? I'm not like a nerd. You know what I mean? Like, I don't nerd out over like gear and like, oh, these strings and this pedal and this. It's beyond, that's just beyond me, bro. I just want to I dial in the tone that sounds good, and let's create art. That's my like philosophy. I don't.
So are you still using amps head 412, or you're doing the modular
So
thing?
I just recently swapped to digital modeling, but forever. I mean, I've had like the same Marshall stack
Wait. Don't you have
Yeah,
that
I have a
Fender
Fender
pedal?
Tonemaster,
Yes,
which
that's
is
huge.
sick.
Yes.
But yeah, dude, forever I just had the same like Marshall half stack with a tube screamer. That was it. That's all I would run.
Yeah.
Uh, but my
But even then, even with the modular and all the fucking possibilities, you still just you keep it
Yeah,
simple
dude, and
and
honestly, I've
you
been
fucking
I've been
plug in,
getting
bro.
on myself to like I need to explore it more to see what I can really do with it. Because I just kind of like, all right, this
Yeah.
amp and all right, boom, let's go. You know what I'm saying? There's so much more you can do with it. I feel like I could get some unique sounds and spark some.
Dude, I want to say when you had the Fender, the Tone Master, you were just like, you told me you had it on the stage, and who were you guys playing with? It might have been like a Shattered Sun show
No,
at
I
the
think it was
Hollywood
our
Walk or
show.
something.
I think we were headlining. I think it was our record
Oh, yeah.
release or something, and we had Seattle on
Yes,
there.
yes, 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 yes. I went to that. And because I had never seen the Fender thing, and I was like, oh shit, this
It's
is pretty
cool, man.
cool. And then Rob was
Yeah.
telling me about it because Rob was running sound for you guys, and you're like, yeah, I just kind of
Mhm.
got this, and I'm just trying to get this thing to work
Yeah,
right
for
now.
yeah.
I remember you telling
Mhm.
me that, yeah. So it's still kind of trying to get it to
Still
work.
trying to get it to
Kind of
work, man.
like,
It works. It works, but you know, like I said, I'm trying to explore it more so I can
yeah,
discover new sounds. I think it'll spark different creative like avenues. You know what I mean? But yeah, like even on the Tone
yeah.
Master, I just have like I think it's like a EVH 5150
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
into a Marshall cab, I believe, with a tube screamer in front of it, and that's it. That's it. I mean, it's very similar to
Cool.
like the rig that I like my analog amp. You know what I mean? I record. I do a lot of to record with like Robert Boltonon, right? Shout out Rob. Um, he always
Yes,
has
sir.
yeah, he
Shout out
always
Rob.
has like a 5150 or a 6505 or something in the studio that we use to track. But my personal rig, like it was a Marshall head with a Fender 5150 cabinet. So I kind of stay pretty close to that,
Mm.
even with the Tone Master, you know. Um, but yeah, like actually after this interview, I need to like update it. I need to plug it in my computer, update it, and download some new shit because we're gonna go into the studio
Yeah,
soon.
yeah.
We're gonna do like a yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna do like
sick.
a cool like Aussie cover. We can probably talk about it a little bit. I can't say too much because then
Oh,
yeah,
badass.
Robert will fucking scold me. Shout out Rob again. But yeah, man. So I'm gonna do that a little bit later. Download some new amps on there and start tweaking. And I want to get more on like the gear side of things. You know what I mean? It's good to know. I feel like, and also like I said, to explore new creative avenues. I think that'll open doors for me.
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah. So it's speaking of like getting ideas out and influences, is there like a completely out of left field artist that people would not expect? You're like, you know what? Actually, listen to this guy, and this guy has inspired me, or this band, or I don't know, fucking Mariah Carey. Yeah, yeah. Mine is like Charlie Puth. I fucking love that guy. Yeah, I listen to his shit all the time. What about you,
Kind
Mike?
of same, bro. I honestly don't listen to too many contemporary like metal or rock artists. There's a handful of bands who I follow for sure, but honestly, bro, I listen to like if I'm just hanging out and having a good time. If I'm not listening to my pop's old like records from the '80s, I'm listening to like contemporary like pop or like trap shit. Like I'm really into like a lot of the Chicago scene,
Okay.
a lot of like the drill stuff
Yeah,
over
yeah.
there.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
and I think part of that started. It might be kind of subconscious, maybe not, because I'm thinking about it right now. But I don't like to get into too many I guess modern rock or metal acts because I don't want to start like biting people subconsciously. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be too in because it's
Mm,
like we create that kind of music, you know. So I want it to be as organic and as authentic as possible coming from me. I don't want to have just listen to the new like
sure.
whoever that's out right now record, and then now I'm like, oh, I want to write these kind of riffs or whatever. Like, nah, I almost,
Yeah. So it sucks when you pick up a guitar and you write in an idea like, oh yeah, I
mm,
like this, and then you're like,
you're like, oh
wait,
shit, that's Weezer,
fuck.
yeah,
That's this. I'm like, god damn it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I
I
kind of
hate
make a
that.
conscious effort to like stay away from it, which isn't like I don't know if that's like the best promotion or whatever. Like, yeah, I don't listen to metal at all, but I kind of don't. Like, I do, but I don't. You know what I mean?
Dude, as far as like new bands, because I don't really listen to the radio. Because I used to drive to work about 45 minutes one way and then 45 minutes the other way. So then I'd listen to the radio and get these new bands. But I don't seek new bands. So my wife would be like, "Oh, hey," because my wife works in an office all day. She just puts her headphones on, and puts some rock, and then whatever comes up, comes up. She's like, "I heard of this band called Sleep Token, or I heard of this band called Sleep Theory," and I'm like, I have no idea who those bands are. And then she'll play me a song. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, you know. I'll listen to that, but I don't have time to listen to that right now because there's all these fucking things that I
Yeah.
need to do, you know. But if it's a band like I really fucking like, dude, like Avenged Sevenfold or Alter Bridge or something, they come out with a new album. You best believe I'm fucking lighting the candles.
sure.
I'm fucking turning my lights off. I'm turning my eyes off and blasting that fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm vibing to that shit. But so to segue into living down here, so how does South Texas culture influence you guys' music, if at all?
Dude, you know what's crazy? I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine. I was showing him some demos that I've been working on, right? And he was like, you know what, dude? Like, whenever I hear y'all's music, like, he was talking about the demos, like the most recent shit we've been working on. He was like, man, I hear a lot of like audio in there. A lot of like you know, like neighborhood shit, like cultural shit. You know, it's like when I hear y'all's music, especially these like the newer stuff, I hear like the neighborhood, the hood, you know, of audio. So it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it influences. I think the influence is deeper than we even fucking admit, honestly. Yeah,
Subconscious, maybe.
for sure. Yeah, definitely where we're from, how we've grown up, and the different, I guess, artistic influences around us definitely shaped our sound and our image. And I think it's going into this new era of us. I think it's going to be tenfold of that. I think it's been like you said, it was kind of a subconscious like thing. Now I'm conscious of it, and now I want to like exploit it a little bit more. I want to tap into it and embrace it, you know? So, yeah, it was a great question, man. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, working on like the newer tunes and shit.
Yeah, I love it when sometimes these culture clashes and genres blend and kind of takes on its own fucking thing. You know, like 12-Foot Ninja, how they blend all that shit. Dude, I fucking love that stuff. You know, reggae and metal and, you know, 80s disco and metal or like whatever, you know. But there's certain like particular styles like I love El Nino. You know, like Marcus was singing for El Nino, like because I'm from South America. I don't know if you guys, I'm from South America. So hearing some of those flavors in there mixed in with the heavy shit, like that's an easy playlist. You know.
Where are you from, bro? Oh,
Brazil.
no shit. Speak Portuguese and shit?
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yes,
That's
I
cool.
do. Actually, the show that I'm writing right now.
Okay.
It says relaxa e confia, like relax
Oh,
and
okay,
trust.
that's cool, man. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's a shirt from my
How old were
hometown.
you when you moved here in America?
I was 13
Oh,
years
wow.
old, and funny story, I tried playing guitar for the first time when I was eight. My cousin had a classic nylon guitar, and she was trying to show me how to play. I don't quite remember, something like a nursery rhyme or something. I'm like, I don't fucking want to play guitar. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to play guitar. And then fast forward like 5 years later, when I'm moving to the U.S., I'm bored out of my mind because I came in during the winter break of school. And the people said, because I moved to GP, I'm from Portland now. And they're like, we don't know if he's going to be able to join. Maybe you guys just wait out, you know, a few more months and he can start the new school year. And I was like, man, what the fuck am I going to do this whole time? So I grabbed whatever little money I brought with me, and I bought a fake Telecaster on eBay, and that's how I learned how to play.
That's cool, bro. You know what? Now that I'm really paying attention, I can hear like an accent a little bit. That's cool, bro. That's cool, man.
Yeah, you have. I disguise it well sometimes.
No, you do. You really do.
But yeah, so I love that kind of stuff, and you know, growing up, my mom used to always listen to American music, really. I mean, she obviously Brazilian music and
Uh-huh.
styles as well, but she always had like Air Supply and Sting and the Police, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff on. Um, and then eventually, there was this Brazilian band that are to me are the OGs of like blending genres. They're kind of like the 12-foot ninja, but from Brazil, but during the 90s.
Oh, okay.
And they were doing that stuff, and they tragically died in a
Oh
airplane
man.
crash. Actually, yeah, it's fucking horrible. But then and then I started to walk around the street, and I'd hear a little bit of Soundgarden, and then coming back home the other way, I'd hear Alice in
Mm.
Chains, and then turn on TV and I'd see Creed late '90s or Fuel or those
Yeah.
bands, Pearl Jam, whatever. The whole grunge and post grunge. Post grunge is what really captured me. I kind of missed the peak of the grunge era
Okay.
because I was only like 3 years old. I was born in '89 and
All right.
grunge took off in
Yeah.
'89 and then went on from there. But I really caught the post grunge stuff. So Creed, Fuel, and then because of the blending in cultures with the rap, Brazil has a lot of rap and hip hop and like the favela kind of
Yeah.
music. And I heard Linkin Park, and it was the first time I heard a blend of rock and kind of like
Hmm.
rapping and hip hop and that stuff. And then you talk about Nickelback but Nickelback, Creed, all that stuff. That's really like what caught my interest, and so much so that Mark Tremonti's like him and Brian Hanner from Avenged Sevenfold. They're
Yeah.
like modern guitar heroes for me, and
For
there's
sure.
obviously Van
Hmm.
Halen and
Of
fucking
course.
everybody. But yeah, so that's how I came up and with
That's
music.
fucking
But
cool, man.
it's not about me; it's about you guys.
That's cool, man. Hey, speaking on that real quick, I feel like especially
Yeah,
these days, the lines that separate genres are like as blurry as they've ever been. Like I I'm a firm believer of like I guess like I know there's got to be genres to separate certain whatever, but I feel like there's just two types of music, dog. Like there's good music and there's bad music, or just art. There's good
yeah,
art, there's not so good art. That's kind of how I like. That's how
sure,
I look at it these days. So I'm definitely a lot more open minded. Because when I was a kid, bro, I was just super into like guitar shit. Like it had to have a sick guitar player. It had to have a sick solo or whatever. Like I didn't listen
yeah,
to
yeah,
anything outside
yeah,
of that. But as I grew up and matured, I got into like different types of music, and I was like, bro, it's all the same shit. Honestly, it's all just if it's good, it's good. So that's what I'm trying to
yep,
embrace going into this new, I guess, phase of ZK is embracing my heritage, where I'm from, embracing my culture, and putting that into my art. So that's where I am with that. But dude, it was cool
that's
hearing
awesome,
about a
man.
little bit of your background. Dude, I didn't know that about you. That's cool.
Yeah, man, it's been a journey. It's been a while since I've been back home. I'm due
Yeah.
for a visit. Um, so you guys released the Reveille in 25. So I've heard you guys have two EPs out, and then you have some songs that you released as singles. You can really like, as you're saying, you can really tell like the ZombieKing. Like there's been an evolution, and I think with this new stuff, you guys sound tighter than what you guys were before. But I think the core like ZK foundation, it's kind of always been there from the beginning. But if you have to make any sort of major differences between like what you guys were originally writing from the Reveille in 2025 and now this new stuff that's gonna come out, like what's the major difference
It's
between
a
them?
great question, dude. So I would say it's just our skill set. We've become better songwriters. So before it was just like, okay, what's a cool riff? All right, what's another cool riff after the cool riff? Okay, what's another cool riff? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's kind of like what do they
yeah,
call riff
yeah,
salad, right? Uh, Now it's more. I'm more so like just what's gonna serve the song. Like what's a good rhythm? What's a good fucking vibe? What's catchy? What's gonna like? What makes me like feel like dancing? Because that's ultimately what I want to achieve. Is like I want dudes like banging their head. I want to see girls like shaking their ass. Like I want to like that's what I want to make people do when we play music. Whether it's like you're listening to a record of ours or you're like catching us live. That's always the goal. So I would say like the biggest difference is just the skill set, just learning how to actually write songs because that's an art in itself, you know?
Yeah. And so, you guys are more mature, so expanding your horizons too.
For sure.
That's probably making a big
Big
difference.
difference, yeah.
Um, I particularly love going to the studio and sitting down and recording and just like being like the mad scientist type of thing and just creating something out of nothing and then perform it and hear that captured sound. Actually, the first Res album we recorded live, everybody in the same
Oh, that's
fucking
cool.
room. So there's something about that too because you can tell from the first and the second album. And the first album, just the energy just seems so much like it just seems like everybody was together like a fucking hive
Mhm.
mind. Everybody just like sinking in. And then when you get to the studio, everybody tracks it separately, and that works too. That's how we did the second album. That's how we did the Seattle Rising original album too. um, but what do you prefer, going to the studio, recording the songs, hearing the finished product, like, oh fuck yeah, or do you prefer playing live shows?
Damn, they're both two totally different beasts, right? I think, fuck, dude, that's such a good question. I get different kinds of like fulfillment from both, right? Like I have the innate like I have to create, right? That's something I absolutely have to do. Like, um, I have to create my own art. Like, I know there's a lot of like hired guns and session guys out there, or like tribute acts and cover bands, which I enjoy. I love going out and
Yeah,
seeing like a good cover band or a good tribute act and shit, just having fun and putting the vibes out there, right? But me personally, like, I have to create my own shit, you know? There's just a certain fulfillment I get from that. So like going to the studio and hearing like a track, like hearing a track that we've been working on come to life. I love that shit, right? Because shit always changes in the studio, bro. You know, you can get like a bad,
yeah,
because
it does.
we demo, like I demo here at the house. I got like a little ghetto rig studio and shit. So we do our demos and stuff, and they're
Yeah,
decent for what they are. But when we get to the studio, shit, I mean, shit always changes. So I love that process. But playing live is like, man, there's nothing like just being in front of a fat crowd and playing your music
yeah, for
and having
sure.
it resonate with people and getting that energy like reciprocated. I love that shit, man. Like
Yeah,
it's so tough to pick between the two.
that's a good answer. You do get
I
different
gotta have
fulfillments
both.
from
Yeah, I gotta
yeah,
have both. I gotta
yeah.
have the fulfillment of the creation, of creating in the studio, and then like the performance of it, like live. Gotta have both, or else I'm gonna be
That's
out, or
that's a
else I'm
good
gonna
way
be
to
out here running
yeah.
around committing crimes and shit.
Yeah, that's a fun way to look at it. So speaking of shows, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened at a Zombie King show?
One time I can't remember the show. I think we were probably opening up for like Fear Factory or something. Some dude kind of at the very end of our set, he kind of halfway jumped on the stage and was like, "Hey man, they're about to kick me out," and I was just like, "Fuck, you want us to do about that? Maybe you probably need to get kicked out, man, because you're already doing some wild shit here." Like, so, I mean, nothing too crazy, honestly. Like, some girls maybe kind of being a bit, you know, providing some aesthetics, I guess you can say. It's not too crazy. I feel like that's standard.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, that
yeah.
weird guy kind of jumping on stage, just kind of stuff like that. Nothing too crazy's happened yet. I think now
Okay.
something is. Now that we're on the subject.
Now something's bound to
Yeah.
happen.
So
Yeah.
ask me again the next time we do this. I'll probably have a cooler answer.
So before we end, there's a cool couple of things I wanted to
Cool.
do. Um, I when Juan was here, I guess he lost the connection. I was looking around his room. It looked like he had lots of gaming stuff, and I was gonna ask you guys if you guys are big TV or movie buffs.
Kind of, man. I don't know if I'd say I'm like a movie buff, but I like movies. Yeah, I like films, games and shit like that. Different mediums of art for sure.
So when it comes to like, because so you guys are named
Mhm.
ZombieKing. So do you guys have a like a particular liking towards like horror and zombie
For
stuff?
sure. Yeah, man. Some background on the name. Uh, so zombies in pop culture are known to be like the living dead with an insatiable thirst, insatiable lust
Mm-hmm.
for blood and brains, right? So that's kind of like that's how we feel about our art. That's what I tell people. We feel we're kind of like fucking zombies in that sense, or we can't get enough, dog. Like we're out here running wild, chasing the
Mm-hmm.
fits. But yeah, I definitely grew up being a fan of like old school horror films. So like the old school like Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, all like the George A. Romero shit. So big fan of that stuff. So yeah, man, I definitely drew some influence from that sort of thing when I came because I started the band, right? Like I started the band, I named the band. Everyone who's in the band now, like I brought
Okay.
in the band, so it's like that was definitely a motivational like factor when it came to like who are
Okay.
we?
So let's do this. I'm gonna give you two names of either a movie or a TV show, and you have to pick between one of them, and then we're gonna go all the way until one is
Okay.
chosen, and one is the Zombie King. You ready for
Yes.
this? All right. Night of the Living Dead or Train to Busan.
Night of the Living Dead.
Shaun of the Dead
Oh,
or Dawn of the Dead.
fuck. I love them both. I'm gonna go down to the Deads. That's George A.
Dawn of the
Romero,
Dead.
right? Pretty sure, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's gotta stick with
Okay.
George, bro.
All right. So on this side, we got Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead. All right. Other side of this bracket. 28 Days Later or Zombieland.
Damn. I'm gonna say Zombieland. Because it's a little more whimsical, and I feel like we're like pretty silly dudes sometimes. So,
Evil Dead or The Walking
oh
Dead.
fuck, I'd say The Walking Dead up until like season 3 or whatever the fuck. Now it's like crazy. Like I lost track after they killed
Yeah,
Glenn
yeah,
and
yeah.
shit. But yeah,
Okay.
great show
Okay.
though. Still a great show.
All right. So to the final, on the semifinals to the other side, Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of
Oh
the Dead.
fuck, I gotta go with the OG, Night of the Living Dead.
Then on the other side, Zombieland or The Walking Dead.
I have to say The Walking Dead. It was a cultural phenomenon, when they came out. Mhm.
Okay. Night of the Living Dead or The Walking Dead.
Night of the Living Dead, for sure. Because I came up with the band name before Walking Dead came out, and it was directly influenced from George A. Romero.
All right. So Night of the Living Dead is the
Mhm.
Zombie King. All right. Very
That's
cool,
cool, man. Hey,
man.
nobody's ever really made that connection, bro. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was like, it's right there. Sometimes what's right in front of your face is the hardest thing
Yeah.
to see. You
hmm
know, but I figured. So what did you think of Game of Thrones when then they kind of had their version of zombies? Did you
I
ever
never,
watch
I
that?
never got to catch up with it, but I heard it was great. I heard it was great.
Yeah, they kind of have something akin to
Okay,
that.
that's cool.
They're not really zombies, but they kind of
Okay,
are
yeah, that's
zombies.
cool.
And it turns out to be like probably the main antagonist of the
Mm.
show. Like the show's climaxing to that point where they have to fight this. I don't
Oh,
wanna
that's
give it
sick.
away
Okay.
anyways. But there's a controversy. I don't know if you've ever heard of the final season just being complete dog
I heard
shit.
that. Yeah, I heard people were upset with how it
And
ended or
then
something like that.
the finale just kind of being dog shit too.
Mm.
But I particularly thought it was okay,
That's cool.
man. People sometimes they have this idea of like everything needs to be fucking happy.
Yeah.
And happy endings for all. And I say,
Hey man, good art makes you feel some shit, whether it's fucking distress or leaves you wanting more, leaves you, what I mean? That means it was good.
and
Yeah.
man, yeah, that's why I love, dude. One of my favorite movies of all time is The Mist. Have you ever seen that movie?
Love that movie. I need to watch it again. I haven't seen it in a while, but when I
Dude,
watched it when I was a bit younger, it was so sick.
dude, the end of that movie fucked me up.
Yeah. Yep.
The end of that movie fucked me up because if he had just fucking
Hmm.
waited a little bit,
Yep.
you know. So that's the kind of stuff that I love. That's like, you think it's gonna end one way and then it just comes out of
Love
left
that shit
field,
too.
dude.
Yeah.
And some of the end of the Game of Thrones, some out of left field stuff
Oh, okay.
happens, and you're like, wait, because people are like, no, this person's not supposed to do this. This person's supposed to do
Yeah.
that. You know, fuck
Yeah.
that.
Fuck that shit, man.
Fuck that. It's funny you said you stopped watching The Walking Dead after Glenn died, and so I am a Walking Dead TV show first, and then I started reading the comics because of
Okay.
the TV
Uh-huh.
show, and then I finished the comics before the show was
Oh,
over.
okay.
So I have every single Walking Dead
Oh, that's
comic
cool, bro.
all the way
Yeah.
to the end. Number one,
Holy
it's
shit.
I fucking love it. I have Lucille
Oh,
up
I
there,
see.
my baby.
Yeah, that's cool, bro.
You see my
Yeah,
baby
that's
up there,
fire.
and then there's a painting up there.
Oh, dude, I love that. It's so cool.
So yeah, fucking I love that kind of genre
Hmm.
gore, but particularly zombies. I forgot to put Resident Evil here. Resident Evil is
Yeah.
another one. Uh, the first movie was good. Everything after that was kind of shit.
Yeah.
But and then there's that one too that just came out on Netflix a couple years ago about it being in Vegas. Did you
No.
watch that one with the zombies in
Mm-mm.
Vegas?
Oh, well, wait.
That was
Yes,
fuck. That
wasn't
was a
it with
cool
like
movie.
Batista and shit, or like? Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, so there's that, and there's that Will Smith movie too. What was that movie
I Am
called
Legend.
with Will Smith?
That
I
one's
Am
cool.
Legend. Is that
Yeah.
I Am Legend. So there's a few ones, but I felt like the ones that I had picked were
Yeah.
like
No, those are great
more
for sure.
people will fucking
Yeah, for
know.
sure.
Anyways, man, this is fucking fun, Eddie. I appreciate you guys. It's too bad we lost one. I would have loved to have heard him
Yeah.
do his own bracket there too, but I guess he can DM me his answers later because I'd be interested to see if he went with Night of the Living Dead too, because he seemed like he's probably a big buff and
Yeah.
TV and movie
Mhm.
guy too. Cool, man. What's going on with Zombie King? What's next? Shows? Are you just focusing on the studio time?
A little bit of everything, man. We plan on touring for sure Texas. We're gonna hit pretty much all of Texas. I think we're gonna branch out later this year as well. It's currently in the works. We got some
Sick.
cool show offers that we're looking into. We just signed on with Robert Beltran as management, so he's handling a lot of that stuff for us. And we got a show.
Good
Yeah,
hands.
man, we got a show June 13th, I believe. It's the 13th. It's on a Saturday at Rich's Billiards. Got a headliner. We're playing with Gutter Gospels. I don't know if there's some other bands we're gonna announce soon. We're just gonna make sure we lock them in and shit. So we got some cool bands that are gonna play with us, bro.
Mhm.
This gonna be a good show. That's in June. Yeah, so June 13th, Saturday, Rich's Billiards. It's gonna be sick as fuck. It's gonna be fire.
Cool.
Yeah, man. We're gonna just be playing all over the place.
So the stuff that's you guys are working on right now, when can we expect to hear some of that?
Within the next few weeks, I think it's safe to say. It's a safe
Oh,
bet. Yeah, we're gonna be
okay.
dropping some new shit within the next within the next few weeks.
It's gonna be like an EP or
No,
individual
so
songs?
yeah,
Singles?
so I think we're just starting to talk about the new like record cycle. So, we dropped the EP, the Reveling, right? That's still very fresh and new to a
Yeah.
lot of people. Uh,
Mhm.
so probably this time next year, honestly, we'd probably be getting ready to drop the new batch of songs, whether that's the debut album, because we've yet to record an album, like a full length record. I feel
Like a
Yeah, I
full
feel like
length,
that's a good
yeah.
thing that we have going for us because it's building anticipation with the people who fuck with us. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, it's probably like you guys at a good time too to
yeah,
do that.
exactly. That's how I feel about it.
Longevity of the band, getting comfortable with your own sound.
Exactly.
It seems like you guys would have a pretty killer and solid full length
Yeah,
album.
man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
Thank
to
you,
that.
bro. Yeah, there's some different opportunities on the table. We're just trying to make our moves. What's going to be best for us because we've done the record deal thing. We've done like you're younger at the time, and someone puts a contract in front of you. You're like, yeah, dude, you gonna sign that shit. Now we're a little more. Not saying that was a bad deal for us because it was a mutual. Like we benefited from it as well.
Sure. Yeah.
But moving forward, we're definitely a little more, I guess, methodical, right? Like we're very like we're gonna make these certain moves, and we're gonna get this out of it or whatever. We're not as impulsive as we were when we were a little bit younger. So, like I said, there's
Yeah.
opportunities on the table where we're playing our cards right, and yeah, whether it ends up being the new full length album or just another EP, that remains to be seen. But I mean, I've been demoing songs. You know, we've been talking about getting in at the studio at the end of the year to start pre-production and shit. So we're definitely gonna have new ZK music out sometime next year. But we got some cool projects going on throughout summer and fall. You know, as far as we might do a couple cool covers because that's something we haven't done a lot, bro. We haven't done a lot of covers, right? There's some bands that like they blow up because of a cover that they do, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But going
Absolutely.
back to where I said I have the innate fucking feeling of just I got to create my own art, right? We've been on that track for a while, but we have done. I think the only cover we've done, we've played some covers live, but the only cover we've recorded and put out was a Selena cover, a song called "Si Una Vez." We
Mm-hmm.
dropped that a while back, man. We dropped that a while back. So it's like, hey, we haven't done like a cool, like, you know, like we haven't paid homage to some of the founding fathers that have influenced us. And, cause bro, like when we get in the jam room, like we play all kinds of shit sometimes. Like if we haven't jammed in a while and we don't want to get straight to like grinding out like a set list or something, we'll just start jamming, bro. Like if I just, you know, I'll jam like on a Sabbath riff or a Pantera riff or rap or like some old school Maiden shit or whatever. The other guys usually know the songs as well. Like we don't really have to talk like, hey, do you know this song or do you know that song?
Sure. Yeah.
Everybody kind of just joins in and we'll have fun doing that, you know? So we do that from time to time. So we were like, hey, why don't we track like one of these that we just bullshit with that we can play seemingly, you know what I mean? Like, let's do that. So I think that's what we're doing. For sure this summer we're going to release a track that people know, like you've heard the song before, but we're gonna
Cool.
pay tribute like in our own way and kind of do it our own way. So that's gonna be fun. And we might have like one or two of those cards up our sleeve, honestly, just to kind of get us through until we start recording like the new record. Whether, like I said, whether it's the
Yeah.
new EP or the debut album, that remains to be seen. But we still want to get in the studio. I love being in the studio and just doing studio shit, you know. So it's like, hey
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
yeah, we
Cool.
haven't done a whole lot of covers.
Should call those covers the zombified covers.
There you go. Yeah, it's like, hey man, we haven't done a lot of covers or whatever. Like, let's track some cool shit that resonates with us and that makes sense for us to do, and let's have fun with that. Like, let's just have some fun for a bit, and then we'll get on the grind of like hammering out the new tunes and stuff. You know what I mean? So I think that's what we have coming up for at least the next few months. Like I said, I wish I could get more into the cover, but I don't want to get scolded by our manager. But y'all are gonna hear that shit though. It's gonna be cool, bro. I think it's gonna be like, oh, I think
Okay,
it's gonna
man.
be one of those like, oh, of course they do this song, but also like a surprise, like, damn, like they're doing this song. You know what I mean? It's one of those that's
Yeah.
like you gotta have a certain, I guess, reverence to pull it off, and we have that. You know what I mean? So I think we're gonna do it justice. It's gonna be really cool. Uh,
I totally get what
yeah,
you
man.
mean, dude. Whenever Seattle Rising, whenever we do our stuff, and all of a sudden we start playing 46-2 or Schism by Tool, people are like, "Oh, they're doing? Of course they're doing that song, but
Yeah,
they're doing that song."
exactly,
Yeah, it's kind of
exactly.
yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Fun. I can't wait to hear that, man. Again, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate Juan taking the time to come over here and talk to me. And then whenever you guys are ready to put out that full length, we'll come over here and we'll do it
Fuck
again.
yeah, bro. Thank you. Hey, thank you for having us, bro. I checked out a couple of your episodes. I saw like the Tony episode and Marcos
Yeah.
Leal from Showered Sun, and I really enjoy the like even your setup, bro. You got like fucking it looks all pro and shit. You got some cool stuff going on, man. Uh,
Cool,
I
dude.
think you're a
Yeah, I
great
appreciate
singer
that.
as well. I heard you guys when y'all played with us and shit. So
Oh,
I
cool.
always like
Yeah.
collaborating with other artists that I admire and that I respect, even if it's just something like you know like a podcast or something like this. It's really cool, man. So
Yeah.
thank you for having us, man.
Yeah, likewise, dude. Likewise. So, guys, don't forget to check out Zombie King. Go to their Facebook. Follow them on all the streaming platforms. make sure you're jamming their music. Make sure you're keeping up with what they're playing, when they're playing, most importantly, and go support local music, live music, and people that are grinding out there, because you guys are certainly doing that.
Thank you, bro.
All right, and if you're listening, if you got here so far, shit, drop the like, subscribe. I mean, you're here, you're still here, right? So follow the podcast wherever it is you're listening on, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Okay, man.